Hi, this is Carol Peugeot, and this is From the Classroom to the Kitchen Nook. And this is session 19. And we just got through doing our math section, and we just wrapped that up. So today what I want to go do is I want to kind of go back to the beginning of what this video blog is all about. It's really about helping students transition from a classroom model of learning to online learning. It has not been easy. There's many students that are struggling. High school students, college, vocational, you name it. So I want to kind of go back to the beginning and go over some tips on what you can do to make this transition easier for yourself. So I believe there's 8 here. So first one is number 1, set a schedule. Regardless of whether you have Zoom class meetings time that are set, or if it's work at your own pace, regardless of which one of those you're doing, set a schedule for yourself. Wake up at a certain time, get dressed. Don't go to class or don't do your work in your pajamas. There's something that puts our mind in a different mode when we get dressed and we get prepared to work. So what you would wear to class, wear to do your studies. Start your day at a particular time. So let's say you get up at 7:30, get dressed, start class 8 o'clock. And do that every day, regardless of whether you have a Zoom meeting or not. What that will do, it'll get you scheduled and get you into habits, building a good, positive habit. Stick to the schedule. I know it's easy to say, well, you know, I want to sleep in today, or I want to go meet my friends. It's really better if you stick to a schedule and treat it as if you actually had to go sit in a class. I'm telling you, you will be more successful if you do that. Second, number 2, organize your online and your offline workspace. So, on your computer, make sure you have a separate drive or separate folders for your schoolwork and your personal or your work life, whatever. Make sure you keep those separate. And use folders. What I encourage my students to do is I create a folder for them, or I have them create a folder on their drive for each course that they're taking. So they have on their drive, they'll have, if they're taking 6 courses, there'll be 6 files. And then each week they save their work in that file. So organize yourself that way. Also, your workspace, if you have it, try to get a corner of a room, a quiet place where you can set up and work. A desk that has room for your laptop or computer and room for you to work, and well lit. Make sure you have good lighting. A room with good window light is also good because it brings in sunlight and that's more cheery. Sometimes dark rooms tend to be a little depressing and it's hard to work in those. So do that for yourself. Number 3, don't procrastinate. If you have a paper that's due on Friday night at 6 o'clock, don't wait till Friday 5 o'clock to do your paper. Work throughout the week, a little bit each time. This is a huge killer of success. Now, personally, I work well under stress, but I have to pace myself. And if you don't pace yourself and do a little bit this day, a little bit more that day, a little bit more that day, and then by the time the day that you're supposed to turn it in, you should be just doing your refining, just doing your going over your final look and to turn it in. So don't procrastinate on your reading, on your papers that are due, and on any other assignments. Number 4, communicate with your support. You have an instructor. Make sure you communicate with all your instructors as well as your classmates and group work. If your instructor puts you in a group, make sure you communicate with your group members and also check to see if there's any upper class people who are doing tutoring. That would also be would help you. Number 5 is called dig deeper. When your instructor or when your school gives you a textbook, your textbook is really just the surface of the topic. What you need to do from there is dig deeper, do more research, find other material that talks about the subject at a deeper level. Anybody can sit there and read a textbook, but a textbook, again, gives you very base knowledge. So you want to take that textbook and go deeper from there. Take those topics that the textbook talks about and do more research on that. Okay, number 6. Recruit family and friends. Now, what I want to say about this is be careful who you recruit. Make sure it's somebody who's not going to distract you. And make sure it's somebody who will hold you accountable. So what I call this is an accountability partner. This is somebody, they don't have to be aware of what you're studying. They don't have to know the topic. But they do have to know that you are studying and that you have assignments due and tests that are due. And you'll let them know when these are due, and they will help keep you accountable. They'll ask you, did you study for your test? And make sure it's somebody you can't easily lie to, like a good friend or a parent. Somebody who's going to keep you accountable, because you don't have a teacher looking over your shoulder all the time like you do in a classroom. Make sure that you find somebody who can help you stay on track. Number 7, very important, reward yourself. When you have achievements, you got an A on the test, or you didn't think you were going to pass the test and you ended up with an 80%, reward yourself. Go get a Starbucks, or let yourself watch an episode of a show that you like. Little things. Doesn't have to be huge, just little things that will reward yourself and help you celebrate. And maybe invite your friends to help you celebrate your successes. And then finally, number 8, keep the bigger picture in view. This is one course. And your one course is another step to finishing your program, whatever program it is, whether it's a certificate, a diploma, whether it's a bachelor's degree or a master's or so on. Whatever it is, each course is a step in it. So think of that as each step gets higher. You know, what the Chinese saying, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Well, if you don't take that first step, then you won't get anywhere on your journey. So I used to think that, oh my gosh, it's going to take forever, but I used to keep my graduation date, and it seemed like it was forever, but before you know it, it is here, and you will be complete, and you will have accomplished something. So keep that in mind every day when you get up out of that bed to get to class and get to study. By the way, last week I assigned you a review sheet. I'm actually going to put that review sheet. These are math questions for all of the fractions. I'm going to put that in the notes, as well as I'm going to do a video going over each one of those questions. So do the review sheet first, and then watch the video and go over the questions with me. So look for that in the notes. So this is Carol Peugeot from the classroom to the kitchen nook, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Carol Peugeot, and don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to hit that bell, because we got a lot of good stuff coming.